Okay, now I'm going to use a Fretboard Toolbox Ukulele C Tuning Edition to try to explain how 7 chords work. A lot of times when you're playing music, you'll see the music says play a G7 here, or play an A minor 7, like an AM little M7. Or if you're playing some jazzier kind of stuff, you may see play a G major 7, and I'm going to try to show you how all those work. So we're in the key of G major, and to play just a regular major chord, forget the 7s, we're going to play notes from the 1, 3, and 5 columns. So in the G major is built to the notes G, B, and D. So on a uke, I can play G, D, G, B, and play a G major. If I want to play what's called a G7 or a G dominant 7, I'm going to use the note that's got these 3 skinny lines around it, which is in the B7 or flat 7 column. Okay, so I want to, on the G major, to play a G7 or a G dominant 7, same thing. I want to play the notes G, B, D, and I need to add an F on there. So I come down here and I look, and I got G, D, G, B, but I got no F, and so I need to find where's the F note. And if you know what a piano keyboard looks like, you'll know the notes going down to be G. This is going down what's called chromatically, playing every note. G, F sharp, F, E. E and F are right next to each other on a piano, both white keys. But I can also, if I don't know that, I can look up here on the fretboard layout and say, where is an F nearby that I could play? So on the first string, or the first fret of the second string, here's the first fret, second string, there is an F note, which here, on the first fret of the second string would be an F note. It's not shown on here because the F is not within the key of G major, so that's kind of what gives some tension to 7 chords, or dominant 7 chords. So I'm going to take this GBD, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to, there's GBD, but I want this F on there, so I'm just going to flip my fingers. So I got G major, G7, you kind of feel that? That's just going from G major, G7 to a C major. And so if I want to play what's called a G major 7, which is a little rarer unless you're playing a lot of jazz stuff, then you're going to add the note from the 7 column. So on a G major chord, or a G major 7, I'm going to want G, B, D, F sharp. So I need to come down here and find out where can I add an F sharp to my G, B, and D. And sometimes you can't play all the notes. If you're going to skip a note, the best one to skip is the 5, if you had to pick a first one to drop. Because if I just play G, B, and F sharp, that's still going to have a major 7 sound. Or if you're playing with a group and somebody else, like a bass, is going to be covering the G note, you could just play B, D, and F sharp to get that major 7 sound, because the bass note, the bass player will be covering that G note, and they won't notice that it's missing from you. But over here, if I want to play a G major 7, I'm going to go G, D, F sharp, B. So I just take my normal G major chord here, and then I'm going to bar these 3. Hear how it kind of has a dreamy sound, kind of an ethereal sound. So this is G major, G major 7. Remember, this is G7 or G dominant 7. So that's kind of how you make the 7 chords and major 7 chords. To play a minor 7 chord, it's pretty easy also. We got A, C, E, G to play an A minor 7. And so I come down here and I look for A, C, E, and G. And I can hit this A here. And then I could play the C. And I can play this G. And I could leave that A open. So that would be A, C, G, A. Which A, C, G, A. Notice I left out the E. Which you can or don't need to do, however you want to play it. It depends on where you're playing the chord. But for this one type of A7 here, A minor 7, I got my A minor, which is just A, C, E, G, when I'm covering the A. And then if I add this G, A minor 7, G, G major 7, G7, C major. If I go to here, that's a C7, and the reason that's a C7 is because I'm playing the notes C, E, G, and then I'm also playing I put a B flat on there. So this is C, B, and then B flat would be on this first fret here. So I just took my normal G, C, E, C, but I switched the C note here to a B flat, which gave me that 7 sound. Or if I want to play a C major 7, I need the note C, E, G, and I need the B on there. So I can just play G, C, E, and then I can just throw a B on there and get that kind of dreamy C major 7, C major 7, C7, G major 7, G7, A minor 7. So you can build chords like that all over the place if you know which notes you need and if you know where all of the notes from the major scale are. So I hope that was helpful, and we'll have more videos to come. Thanks for checking them out.